Welcome to We Lead Anyway. I'm Noelle, Senior Leader, Career Coach, and host of the weekly podcast, We Lead Anyway. I want to talk a bit today about who I am and what you'll be getting from me and why it's different from maybe the other career coaches or the other channels that you might follow. I know you can tell by looking at me that I am a woman of color who happens to have tattoos. What you can't tell by looking at me is that I am openly queer and no degree. Now, you might be thinking, well, congratulations, why do I give a crap about that? The reason why is because I've made it to a senior leadership role and I'm currently on the VP track. I didn't have the right path or the resources to make it like so many of my counterparts did, but I figured it out. Now, I was born and raised in Utah. There was no one who represented anything close to who or what I am. I'm 50, so it was back before people were as open, inclusive, diverse, and affirming. I had to figure out how to navigate the corporate world with no tools. And when my coaching clients or my direct reports ask, well, how do I get to the next level? They usually have already argued for their own limitations. And that's what I did for a really long time. I don't have the background. I don't have the right credentials. I don't have the time in the role or the experience and the blah and the blah and the freaking blah. So the reason why my podcast and channel are titled We Lead Anyway is because, yeah, I didn't have any of that crap, but I led anyway. And so can you. According to every career advisor, LinkedIn guru, and every How to Succeed in America corporate playbook, I shouldn't have made it. But here's the thing about rules. What the hell are rules? If you're someone who doesn't fit the mold, no degree, no network, no trust fund or traditional path, and you're tired of people telling you what you can and can't do, you are the reason I've created this channel. Now, I do also give strategic, logical, and reasonable advice to everyone, regardless of their path. In fact, a lot of my clients are Ivy League alumni, or they've been doing this for a really long time. And it seems like there's nothing but resources for that demographic. But I also want to speak to the demographic that seems to be invisible. The brilliant, scrappy demographic that have no degree, so they don't go for the roles that they want. It's a bunch of crap. Like me, you may have been told there's only one way to a successful career. You go to the right college, you get the right internship, you network with the right people, and you land the entry-level job, and then you climb your way up the ladder. You don't make waves, you fit in, you assimilate, you be professional, and you play the game. Good God, that sounds drab. And if you don't have access to the path, if you can't afford college, if you didn't get that internship, well, according to conventional wisdom, you're screwed, my guy. But here's what I had to figure out on my own. That traditional path, it's not the only path. It's just a path that makes it easier to teach because it's predictable and makes recruiters' job easier. But the world is full of people who made it without following this script. We just don't talk about it enough because it's messy, it's nonlinear, it doesn't fit into a neat little LinkedIn timeline. I started working at 16 because I had to. No college fund, no career counselor, no plan, just survival mode, and a lot of trial and error. And somehow, through a combination of strategy, sheer will, and refusing to accept no as a final answer, I ended up leading operations teams, support teams, Fortune 500 companies, and popular startups, managing multi-million dollar budgets and getting tapped for VP. So this channel is career coaching for people who don't fit a traditional mold. If you're someone who doesn't have a degree or has the wrong degree, that didn't get that internship, that don't have a network of people or a parent's alma mater, someone who started late or switched careers or took a non-traditional path, and you're told that you're not a culture fit, which is code. Well, you're different than us and it makes us uncomfortable. If you have a tendency to limit yourself because you think there's been only one way to win, I want to show you that there are 100 different ways. And some of them are better than the right way and a lot more fun and interesting, actually. Here's what we're going to cover on this channel. This is why I would say it's different from every other career channel or advice page you've seen. What you're not getting here is generic LinkedIn inspiration. You have to just believe in yourself. You do, but that's not it. You're not getting toxic positivity that ignores actual barriers because we do have barriers. You're not getting advice from people who had every advantage telling you you just have to work hard. And you're definitely not getting sugar-coated corporate speak that pretends discrimination or bias doesn't exist. I'm not here to blow sunshine. The system is rigged. The bias is real. Some people start 10 miles ahead of you, and pretending otherwise, it's just freaking insulting. We're not going to do that. But what you are getting is real strategy for navigating corporate politics when you're starting from behind, tactical advice on how to position yourself when you don't have a traditional credential, frameworks for turning your disadvantages or perceived disadvantages into competitive advantages, truth about what actually works versus what sounds good. So we're talking about how to get hired without the right background, how to network when you don't know anyone, how to negotiate when you feel like you have no leverage at all, or how to lead when you don't look like a typical leader. And most importantly, how to stop limiting yourself based on the rules that were never designed for you to win in the first place. The workplace is changing. AI is disrupting everything. Companies are finally, slowly, painfully realizing that diverse perspectives aren't just a nice to have, they're business critical. And this is your window. And I'm going to show you exactly how to kick it wide open. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Noelle, you made it to the VP track. That's great for you, but I'm still stuck. I'm still struggling. I don't know. I don't see how your path really applies to me. But for every win I'm telling you about, there were 10 failures that I'm not posting on LinkedIn. For every promotion, there were 5 times I got passed over for crap. For every moment of making it, there are 100 moments that I wondered if I ever would. And I've been the only one in the room. I've been underestimated. I've been told why I wasn't ready while watching less qualified people get promoted. And I've hidden parts of myself because I was scared. I've code switched so hard that I forgot what my real voice sounded like. The difference between where you are and where you want to be isn't talent. It's not intelligence. It's a strategy. It's knowing which rules to follow and which ones to break. And that's what I'm here to teach you. And here's what I really want you to hear, and I mean this. There's nothing wrong with you because you didn't take the traditional path. You're not behind because you don't have a degree. You're not less capable because you don't have connections. You're just playing a different game. And once you learn the real rules, you're going to be dangerous. The things that make you different, the experiences that made you struggle, those aren't liabilities. They're weapons. And you may not know how to use them yet. So I'm not here to sell you a course or peddle some get-rich scheme. I'm here because I wish someone had told me this stuff years ago. I'm here because there are so many talented people who limit themselves based on garbage rules or crap that they've heard. And I'm here because you deserve to win, not in spite of who you are, but because of who you are. So hear me when I say the traditional career path isn't superior. It's just easier to package and sell. But easy doesn't mean better. Some of the sharpest, most innovative, valuable people I know took a weird path. They zigged when they were supposed to zag. And they built skills in unconventional ways. They learned by doing instead of studying. And they're outperforming people with MBAs and perfect resumes because they had to get resourceful. They had to figure it out. They had to get creative. They actually had to learn how to deliver results instead of just talk about how to deliver results. The fact that you had to figure things out with no blueprint means that you're better at problem solving. The fact that you didn't have a safety net means that you're grittier. Don't limit yourself based on what you think you should have done by now. You're not behind. You're just on a different track. I hope this helps. This is what the channel is about. This is what I'm about. Strategy, truth, and proof that there are 100 ways to win this game. If this resonates, hit subscribe, drop a comment, and tell me exactly where you are in your career journey. You'll get new videos every week, new podcasts every week. And if you're interested in career coaching or learning a little bit more about how to stop playing small, go to leadwithnoelle.com and we can chat. Until next time.